Ever wondered what a perfect three-element dinner plate looks like? Well, let's unravel this culinary mystery together. We're crafting a plate that's all about balance and variety. Our three key players today are hearty lentil patties, vibrant roasted vegetables, and a luscious creamy tahini sauce. Each element brings its own unique flavors and textures to the table, creating a meal that's as delightful to the palate as it is nourishing to the body. Ready to dive into the first element? Great, because it's time to talk lentils. Lentil patties, nutritious, delicious, and incredibly versatile. To create these plant-based delights, we begin with a cup of cooked green or brown lentils. These tiny legumes are a powerhouse of protein and fibre, making them an excellent choice for our patties. Now let's get our hands dirty. We're going to mash these lentils in a bowl until they're slightly chunky. This gives our patties a hearty texture, while still allowing them to bind together nicely. Next, we bring in our flavour brigade. We'll need 1 small onion, finely chopped, and a single clove of garlic, minced. These will add a savoury depth to our patties that's simply irresistible. To help everything stick together, we'll add a 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs. But we're not stopping there. We're also adding a tablespoon of ground flaxseed mixed with 2 tablespoons of water, also known as a flax egg. This is a great vegan alternative to eggs, and it works perfectly in this recipe. Now we're going to spice things up with a teaspoon of ground cumin and a 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika. These spices add warmth and smokiness, elevating the flavours of our patties. And of course, don't forget to season with salt and black pepper to taste. Once everything is well mixed, we'll shape the mixture into small patties. This part is fun, so feel free to get creative with the shapes and sizes. Now, it's time to heat up 2 tablespoons of olive oil in a pan. When the oil is hot and shimmering, we'll add our patties, frying them for 3 to 4 minutes per side until they're golden and crisp. And there you have it. Your lentil patties are ready. They're crispy on the outside, hearty on the inside, and packed full of flavour. Voila, your lentil patties are ready. Up next, a colourful medley of roasted vegetables. Let's take a short break from our culinary journey and meet a rather unusual character. Meet Ms. Belle Pum, a mad scientist with a flair for the eccentric and an insatiable appetite for culinary experiments. She's not alone in her endeavours, though. Assisting her are her sister Hauve and her 3 children, Pole, Nuddles and Zoe. Each member of the family has their own unique characteristics and culinary preferences, making mealtimes quite an adventure. Pole is the oldest, with a penchant for anything spicy. Nuddles, the middle child, has a sweet tooth like no other, while Zoe, the youngest, is a budding vegan. Their mother Hauve is the glue that holds this quirky family together. She's a master at creating dishes that cater to everyone's tastes, while ensuring they're nutritious and delicious. But it's not all fun and games in the Pum household. Lurking in the shadows is Horse Magorse, Ms. Belle Pum's arch nemesis. He's always looking for ways to disrupt her culinary experiments with his own bizarre concoctions. So, buckle up, folks. The Pum family's culinary adventures are about to get a whole lot more exciting. Stay tuned to find out about Ms. Belle Pum's outrageous experiments. But for now, let's get back to our own cooking journey and move on to our final element, a creamy tahini sauce. Now, let's dive deeper into the world of Ms. Belle Pum and her eccentric family. As we've discovered, this family is not your average bunch. You see, Pole, the eldest, is not just a lover of spicy food, but is also a polar bear. Nuddles, the golden bear, is a sweet tooth, which is fitting considering she's made entirely of candy floss. Zoe, the youngest, is also made of candy floss, with her short yellow hair tied up in cute pigtails. Their mother, Hauve, is the sweetest of them all, quite literally, as she too is made of candy floss. This peculiar family composition leads to some sticky situations, especially during the hot summer months. One such instance was when Miss Belle Pum decided to host a summer barbecue in their backyard. The heat from the grill caused a bit of a meltdown, and soon they all found themselves in a sticky mess. But the resilient Pum family didn't let this dampen their spirits. They quickly turned the situation around and started a spontaneous candy floss party, inviting all their friends and neighbours. It was a hit, and the Pum family became known for their legendary candy floss parties. But not everyone was thrilled about these sweet gatherings. Horse Magorse, always looking for ways to rain on their parade, started spreading rumours about the Pum family's mischievous and outrageous behaviour. But Jane Fitzcostelia and Dee Bell Company, the creators of this video, know better. They see Horse Magorse as the real villain in this story, always trying to taint the Pum family's fun-loving nature. As we journey further into the world of Miss Belle Pum, remember that things aren't always as they seem. Now let's get back to our culinary journey and prepare for Miss Belle Pum's next daft experiment. Let's transition from the Pum family's sweet adventures to a somewhat daft and unusual incident involving Miss Belle Pum and her peculiar experiments. On a sunny afternoon, Miss Belle Pum decided to conduct an experiment in the local park. Two dogs, who were part of her previous experiment, were yet again the main subjects. These dogs were in desperate need of a bathroom break, and their cries echoed through the park. Yelp, belp, yelp, 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 belp, yelp, yelp. I need the loo. Meanwhile, two unsuspecting park-goers were enjoying a peaceful nap under the shade of a grand old tree. One was an elderly woman, her snoring rhythmically harmonizing with the park's ambient sounds, her mouth wide open as if inviting trouble. The other was a magician, a peculiar gentleman who had the uncanny ability to sleep with his eyes open. In a sequence of events that can only be described as pure comedic chaos, the dogs mistook the sleeping individuals for convenient bathroom spots. The male dog, mistaking the elderly woman's open mouth for a toilet seat, relieved himself, causing a bit of a stinky situation. The other dog, in its desperation, confused the magician's open nostrils for a similar purpose. The result was a rather unpleasant awakening for the magician, who found himself temporarily blinded by the incident. This incident, while causing a temporary inconvenience and a missed bus for the two individuals, added another curious chapter to the adventures of Miss Belle Pum. Despite the oddities, the park-goers took the incident in stride, and life in the park resumed its normal pace. But as we know, in the world of Miss Belle Pum, normal is a relative term. Stay tuned for more of Miss Belle Pum's eccentric experiments. Before we delve into the world of roasted vegetables, let's take a detour and revisit Miss Belle Pum and her eccentric family. One sunny afternoon, Miss Belle Pum decided to conduct a rather unusual experiment. She wanted to test if dogs could discern the difference between vegan and non-vegan food. To do this, she prepared two types of hot dogs, one made from traditional meat and the other a plant-based alternative. She then took her experiment to the local park where she knew she could find an abundance of dogs out for their daily walks. In the park, two unsuspecting participants, one a burly, slobbering bulldog named Brutus, and the other a dainty, prissy poodle named Fluffy, were chosen. Their owners, John and Maria, were intrigued by Miss Belle Pum's experiment and agreed to participate. Each dog was given a choice between the traditional and vegan hot dog. Brutus, the bulldog, without hesitation, gobbled up both hot dogs, leaving no room for discernment. Fluffy, the poodle, on the other hand, sniffed both hot dogs but refused to eat either, instead opting for her usual diet of gourmet dog biscuits. The results of the experiment were inconclusive and mildly chaotic. Brutus ended up with a mild case of indigestion, and Fluffy's refusal to participate left Miss Belle Pum slightly disheartened. However, in the world of Miss Belle Pum, there's no such thing as failure, only opportunities for more eccentric experiments. Despite the inconvenience, life goes on, and the culinary adventures continue. Now, let's return to our cooking journey and explore the delicious world of roasted vegetables. Roasted vegetables, a vibrant, flavourful accompaniment to any meal. The beauty of roasting vegetables lies in the simplicity of the process and the complexity of the flavours it yields. Let's get started. First things first, preheat your oven to 200 degrees Celsius or 180 for fan ovens, which is roughly equivalent to gas mark 6. While the oven is getting up to temperature, let's talk vegetables. We're using a colourful mix of carrots, courgettes and red peppers. They not only provide a rainbow of colours to your plate, but also a spectrum of nutrients. You'll need 2 large carrots, 1 courgette and 1 red pepper. Slice your carrots into sticks, your courgette into rounds and your red pepper into strips. Now let's move on to the seasoning. We're going to toss the vegetables in 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of dried oregano and a dash of salt and pepper. The olive oil will give our vegetables a lovely golden colour, and the dried oregano will add a touch of Mediterranean flair. Salt and pepper, of course, are our trusty friends that enhance the natural flavours of our vegetables. Once you've got your vegetables all seasoned, spread them out on a baking tray. You want to make sure they're in a single layer and not too crowded. This will ensure they roast evenly and get that delicious caramelization. Pop your tray into the preheated oven and roast for 25 to 30 minutes. Halfway through, give your veggies a flip to ensure they're roasting evenly on all sides. When the vegetables are tender and lightly caramelized, it's time to take them out of the oven. The roasting process intensifies their flavors and gives them a delightful texture that's irresistibly crispy on the outside and tender on the inside. Your roasted vegetables are done. Now, let's move on to our last element, a creamy tahini sauce. Before we delve into the world of roasted vegetables, let's take a detour and revisit a memorable episode in the life of our eccentric host, Ms. Belle Pum. She has an uncanny ability to transform the mundane into the extraordinary, as was evident when she decided to host an unconventional dinner. This was not your run-of-the-mill three-course meal, but a gastronomic extravaganza filled with baffling dishes, even for the bravest of taste buds. One of the most talked about, or perhaps least favourite, was a chocolate cake, but not your regular one. It was a bold experiment where chocolate was harmonised with blue cheese, a combination that Ms. Belle Pum believed would revolutionise culinary norms. The unsuspecting guests, a mix of her friends and relatives, were in for a shock. The first bite of the cake led to a spectrum of reactions: surprise, bewilderment, and a dash of hilarity. The blue cheese chocolate cake was, to put it mildly, a unique taste experience, not necessarily favoured by everyone. The responses varied from courteous grins to full-blown laughter, and there was a claim of discovering an entirely new taste category. The evening was filled with laughter, anecdotes, and a collective resolution to ban blue cheese from altogether. It was an unforgettable night, and a testament to the fact that in Ms. Belle Pum's universe, even a dinner can be a thrilling adventure. Now let's circle back to our original topic, Ms. Belle Pum's intriguing experiment. Can dogs really discern between vegan and non-vegan food? Let's embark on this remarkable exploration. The foundation of our experiment will be 2 bowls of food. The first bowl will contain a vegan recipe devoid of any animal-derived ingredients, while the second will hold a traditional canine meal, rich in meat. But before we dive in, a little about our star participant, our canine friend. Dogs are known for their extraordinary olfactory senses, but can they really distinguish plant-based and animal-based food purely on smell and taste? Let's find out. We'll begin by introducing both bowls to our furry subject. Watch as he sniffs each bowl, his powerful nose deciphering the different scents. Take note of the slight tilting of his head, a sign he's deeply engrossed in the sensory experience. Will he go for the meaty, non-vegan bowl first, drawn by the familiar aroma, or will the vegan dish pique his curiosity? The suspense is thick as we wait to see his choice. And there you have it. Our canine friend's choice is out there, but we won't be divulging it here. That would spoil the fun of the experiment. Now let's wrap it all up. Now that all 3 elements are ready, it's time to assemble our plates. As our special guests, Brutus the Bulldog and Fluffy the Poodle, are excited to join us. Start with a delicious lentil patty, crisp and golden from the pan, in the centre of their plates. This will be surrounded by a generous serving of our safe-for-dogs roasted vegetables, their sweetness enhanced by the caramelization process. Next, drizzle the creamy tahini sauce over the lentils and vegetables. This sauce adds a rich, nutty flavour that both our canine friends and us can enjoy. The beauty of this dish lies in the balance of textures and flavours, from the hearty lentils to the crunchy roasted vegetables and the smooth, creamy tahini sauce. For a pop of colour and a burst of freshness, garnish the plates with some dog-friendly herbs like parsley. And for a heartier meal, consider pairing this with a slice of dog-friendly bread or a scoop of fluffy quinoa. And there you have it, a perfect 3-element dinner plate for Brutus and Fluffy. Enjoy your meal, furry friends.